sometimes it's very difficult to know what is the real problem you're facing sometimes. So I can tell you some of the problems we have in our company, but I'm not sure of what is the right constraint to focus on to fix the problem. So do you have some specific questions you usually make to the business owner?
So first of all, when we see that the constraints are, there are many times that we go to an organization and we try to see where's the constraint, and we first talk to the people and they tell us, well, it depends which day of the week you come. The constraint keeps moving, right? And when the constraint keeps moving, usually it's a product of your policies. It's an outcome of your policies that make the constraints move all the time. For example, when you say, let me maximize my efficiency. So I will work with very large batches. Large batch means that I will work a lot before I'm moving the work forward in the process to the next department, I would say. Like I will work on several podcasts and several chapters and edit them, etc., and only then move them onwards. This now, as this big batch of work move onwards through the process, it's like a snake swallowing a cow, right? So you see the constraints moving through the process, right? So again, the first question will be, where do you think, because managers have good intuition, so where do you think intuitively is really your bottleneck, is really the thing that clogs your work, the thing that if you open it, not only this department will make more, your entire organization will make more throughput. That's assuming we define the throughput, right? That's like the best guiding question that I found. Okay, so if I will need to ask you, where do we need to focus to make more? Let's assume you said profit. I will say, where do we need to focus to get more profit? Or if you said we need to have more, I don't know, quality content. What is preventing you from getting more quality content? Where do we need to focus on? Just as an example.
Can I talk about my company to use it as an example,
Please.
maybe to talk on that? Here in our company, we produce a lot of content, and we have 40 million people watching us every month. And a lot of them wants to invest with us. So they put their names on the forms, and then we send this lead to our financial advisors through our CRM. So we have tons of leads. This is very good.
So that's not your constraint.
Depends, because it's very good, but it's also very bad. Why? Because when I didn't have any money, I valued a lot every lead I've got, you know. And now that we have an excess of leads, we probably have a lower conversion rate because they call someone. If this doesn't work, they have another lead to call, you know? So maybe they could increase the conversion rate. So I think, from what I'm thinking now on the top of my head, that maybe our constraint, or one constraint we have, is the conversion rate.
Correct.
Am I correct?
Absolutely. That's why I said your constraint is not the number of leads. It's not the reach to the customer, but to convert them. And then what we need to think of is how do we exploit better this conversion? How do we increase it, right? Is it because, or what is preventing you from increasing this conversion? Maybe because you're having too many leads and you're spending too much time on leads that are not qualified, because of that, your conversion is low. It's because you don't have a problem of getting a qualified leads. You just need to find these golden fish in this huge pool of fish that you have. So how would I approach it? I would say, okay, let's see if we can put some gates in the process before you are interacting with these fish that will funnel the right fish to your door. So you're not wasting time on unqualified leads. Okay, that will be my first approach. Then I will look at, see how many of these qualified fish do we still have conversion problem of the qualified fish into. Do you mind if I call it a fish? I don't want to insult don't your worry. Audience, right? Yeah. That fish is good luck. So, so, like, how do we make sure that we are converting qualified leads into opportunities, right? Into prospects, into customers. If we see that you still have a problem of conversion, I will then look into the process that your people, let's say, are doing in interacting with these qualified prospects. Okay, are we wasting qualified fish or qualified leads? Sorry, the analogy of fish keep jumping my mind. Okay, but you understand the approach? That's what I will do. And by the way, what you just told me is something we see very often with companies, that if really you have a lot of leads coming in, most likely your attention is diverted to deal with low value leads at the expense of high value leads. It's very, very common.
So when I know what I'm aiming for, the throughput, and I start to ask myself some questions to discover what is the constraint, and I kind of figure out the constraint here, maybe the conversion rate, then I create some hypotheses on the problems or maybe things I could do different and make like test A/B.
Correct. So I will tell you, before you run to hire more people to interact with all your leads, let's see if we're not wasting the capacity we have of your people that interact with them. That's exactly was my point, right? Maybe they are trying to convert leads that they should never interact with them even. We should funnel them out somehow. By the way, funnel them out doesn't mean that you don't pay any attention to them. It just means that you need to create like a route that this fish will swim to.
They get more qualified, maybe.
Correct. But it doesn't mean that you are not paying attention. Sometimes it can backfire. If you're not paying attention at all to leads that you don't want to pay attention to, it can bring you to also ignore the ones you do want to ignore. You don't want to make mistakes, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you need to like create routes for them that they will not waste your people's capacity.
Tá pensando em mudar de profissão ou ter uma profissão nova, começar a trabalhar? Já pensou em trabalhar no mercado financeiro? Já pensou em trabalhar com liberdade geográfica, poder trabalhar de onde você quiser? Ou também já pensou em fazer um salário empilhável que ano a ano você vai ganhando mais? Então eu vou te apresentar aqui a formação de consultores de elite da Portfel. Essa é a formação que vai te pegar do básico e levar ao avançado para entregar tudo o que você precisa para fazer parte do time dos melhores consultores financeiros do Brasil. Mesmo se você ainda estiver dando seus primeiros passos nesse mundo, tá bom? Olha só o que você vai ter. Bootcamp presencial. É um evento presencial que vai te transformar em uma verdadeira máquina de captação de clientes. Você vai ter um treinamento com o Thiago Nigro e com os melhores vendedores do Grupo Primo. É uma experiência inédita no mercado financeiro, tá? Encontro com os sócios do Grupo Primo. Você terá 6 encontros online com diferentes sócios do Grupo Primo. Em cada um dos encontros, você vai masterizar uma habilidade essencial para o seu sucesso como consultor. Você terá calls quinzenais com os analistas da casa de análise que mais cresce no Brasil. Serão conversas e informações de bastidores que só um profissional de investimentos tem acesso, tá? Sinta-se privilegiado, pois um consultor de elite merece uma equipe de análise de elite também. Treinamento de comunicação. Você saberá exatamente o que fazer e como fazer para que seus clientes enxerguem você como um profissional de elite. Tudo isso pela mesma equipe que faz os maiores influenciadores de finanças do país chegarem aonde estão. Conversas com gestores. Nós te daremos acesso a conversas exclusivas com grandes gestores de fundos de investimentos no Brasil. Pouquíssimos profissionais no mercado têm esse tipo de abertura com os gestores, mas nós te colocaremos para aprender com os melhores. Nada mais valioso para um profissional de investimento do que estar por dentro de aspectos qualitativos dos fundos. Oportunidade para atuar na Portfel. Após completar a formação, você agenda a sua avaliação para começar a sua carreira na Portfel aqui no Grupo Primo, a maior e melhor consultoria de investimentos investimentos do Brasil. Esse será o início da fase mais promissora da sua vida, eu tenho certeza. Acompanhamento com consultores de elite. Nós vamos te entregar o que nenhuma outra formação te entrega: mentores que já são consultores de elite para te ajudar a avançar mais rápido. Esses consultores já possuem sucesso na carreira de consultoria, sabem como chegar lá e vão te pegar pela mão para que você avance anos em questão de meses. E o melhor de tudo, você pode ter seu dinheiro de volta. Todos que captarem 10 milhões de reais nos primeiros 12 meses como consultor terão 100% do seu dinheiro de volta. 100% dos consultores que atingiram 10 milhões no último ano conseguiram em menos de 12 meses. Então você também pode conseguir, beleza? Quiser saber mais, quer se tornar aqui um consultor de elite, quer trabalhar na Portfel, quer ganhar dinheiro no mercado financeiro, ajudando as outras pessoas a enriquecer, link na descrição, QR Code na tela, faça a sua inscrição.